Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I wanted to make a quick video to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my story. I was diagnosed in March of 2016 with a thoracic aortic aneurysm. It was a accidental find. My wife wanted me to get a calcium heart score, and I fought it. I said, no, I'm not interested. I eat well. I exercise. I'm a personal trainer, so I'm fit. So I knew I didn't need to check my score. It was fine. I fought it, and finally gave in and said, okay, I'll go in. I went in and they said, yep, your score's fine. And I went home thinking all was okay. And about an hour later, my doctor called me and said, you have an aneurysm. I was shocked. So I asked, what does that mean? What do I do? How did this happen? Why me? Everything. I was confused, scared, and at the time there were no Facebook pages. At least none that I was aware of. I researched and looked into my condition to see what was possible. What do I do? What is the next step? What do I do in terms of, do I have surgery? Do I not have surgery? Will I be the same? I could find no answers. So I was really scared and confused, which is why I really enjoy the system. I like that there now are so many people who share similar experiences and we can all get together and talk about them. But back to my story, I had surgery. So my diagnosis was in March of 2016. I pushed for surgery. It was 5.4, I believe. And I pushed for surgery immediately. So I had surgery a month later, a month after diagnosis. So I have, I have my scar. Was a little embarrassed at first by the scar, but I embrace it now. I love it. It's the thing that reminds me that I am alive and to continue focusing on the present. So I had my surgery in April of 2016. Went through the normal phases of fear and confusion and not knowing what to do next and how to do it. And again, there were no resources for me. Again, at least none that I can find. So I spent a lot of time confused and scared. The one thing that helped me is that I am a personal trainer. I've spent my life dedicated to fitness and healing and protecting the body and helping us move. So what I did was applied my knowledge to my recovery. The doctor said, sure, whatever you want to do, it's fine with us as long as you don't lift more than 5 pounds, which is a little vague and general because my 5-pound weight limit is not the same as a person that's 5 foot tall and weighs 115 pounds. So it's all relative. I think a big part of it, you need to understand your body and become familiar with what works and doesn't work with you. So I had my surgery, went through recovery, and applied my knowledge to my recovery. So I spent the next several months applying what I know about fitness and the body to my recovery. And I don't want to say I was surprised, but because I did not know what was to come, my recovery was fairly quick and easy. Most of my worry and concern was the mental, because now I had to deal with this thing that I feel failed me. So that was the biggest struggle for me. So I am here now roughly 3 years out, and my only negative, or the only issue I have, honestly, is the mental side of it, the trying to work through what happened and how it happened. And I don't want to say that I felt invincible, but I felt I'm fine. I can't be hurt. I'm still 46 now. I was 43 when I was diagnosed and had surgery. And I just assumed I can't be touched. I'm fine. I have a long life ahead of me, and this knocked me down. It scared me. So having these pages, especially Aortic Hope, it's invaluable just to be able to reach out to others who've experienced something very similar. And I love my family, I love my friends, but none of them truly understand what I have experienced and what I'm experiencing. So when I talk to them, they say, "I'm so sad, and I hate that you're fearful and you're scared and you've gone through this, but I don't understand it." And they don't, and they won't. But you guys do. So I think we have this amazing community of like-minded people, which I love. I think it's fantastic. I wish we could reach more people. I wish there was a way that we could reach out to those who don't know or are not aware of these pages and these websites. I wish there's a way that we could touch them as soon as they're diagnosed. I don't know how to accomplish that, but one thing I did do, because I felt like our community is lacking resources, is I decided several years back, not long after my diagnosis and surgery, that I would dedicate my personal training, experience, knowledge, and everything that I have to helping us. All of those are all of us who have experienced or are experiencing any heart-related issues. I would love the opportunity to speak with you, talk to you, whether that's for emotional support or guidance or exercise, nutrition, anything, because the exercise can be scary. I see a lot of questions, and I'm asked a lot about what can I do what can I not do, and sadly there's no one answer. So your surgeon may have 1,000 patients, and the guidelines are don't lift over 10 pounds for X amount of time, and don't walk or exercise or do this certain movement or this certain movement for 3 months, and then after 3 months you can do this after 6 months. Well, it's too broad. It doesn't apply. I'm 6'1" and weigh 230 pounds and work out and lift weights. I've always lifted weights. Someone that's 5 foot tall and weighs 100 pounds that's never lifted weights, our guidelines don't mesh. They don't work, basically. So what I can handle and what someone else can handle are just different. So the idea is to find someone who can help you navigate the specifics. Right, so if you have issues with your shoulders, which a lot of us, when you have your aneurysm, right, or anything, the internal pressure, anything that causes more internal pressure is a problem, especially if you have an aneurysm. If you are repaired and you're okay and clear to exercise, it's different. But I know the different movements that you should and shouldn't do. So please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to me in my Facebook page, or on my Facebook page rather. I would love to help free of charge. If you want to become a client, that's fantastic. That's great. We'll put a program together for you. But if what you need is just a quick answer and someone to help you with the next phase, the next steps, please reach out to me. I will happily share what I can and help you with your specific issue, because we're all different. We all have different limitations. So I would need to know your background. How well do you move? How well do you not move? Are you an exerciser? Are you not an exerciser? So next time whether you have an aneurysm or don't, next time you hear someone speak on what you should and shouldn't do in terms of fitness, and it's a broad answer. It's not a one size fit all, especially when you're dealing with your heart, right? So you don't want to just follow, Frank's program because he put it together and spent several hours putting it together for Jack. Jack and Jill are two different people. One program is for Jack, one program must be designed for Jill. Otherwise, you run into a lot of problems. One thing I will say, and this is broad and it should be broad, focus on breathing. Breathe. I can't put into words how important your breathing is for whether you have an aneurysm or you do not have an aneurysm. Something as simple as standing from a seated position, and I've touched on this several times in many posts. Most people, when they stand, especially if they're not active, they hold their breath. So anytime you hold your breath and exert force, you create a lot of internal pressure. So, for example, many people will say that when they stand, they get lightheaded. Well, it's very possible that you're holding your breath. It's something as simple as that. So make sure you're breathing all the time. Focus on breathing. Inhale, exhale. It sounds silly, and I've had people laugh at me when I say that, but focus on your breathing. It's very important. Again, please don't do anything, don't follow a program or some exercise routine or a food program designed for someone else. It's likely not to work for you. So the best thing to do is research. Do a little bit of reading, find out what makes most sense. And again, if I can help anyone, please reach out to me. Again, I think that's one of the things that saved me early on is just my knowledge of my body. I know what my body's capable of. I know how far I can and cannot push it. But after surgery, it was different. My body was no longer the same. So it was a matter of my navigating the new me. Ultimately, I came full circle and came back. I was the same person physically. There was no difference. I just had to kind of rebuild and regroup. So, and another thing, many of us, when we have any aneurysms or anything like that, a couple of symptoms, and I say this, and most of you may likely already know this, but a few of the symptoms you may have is you may find it difficult to swallow. You find that there's something stuck in my throat. Well, that's your aneurysm. That's internal pressure. So you're going to have trouble or feel like you have trouble swallowing. Another one is shoulder pain. It could be upper shoulder or it could be shoulder blade. So if you feel that often, I always lean towards you speak to your doctor, right? So if you ever have an issue, you speak to your doctor. If your doctor clears you and everything's fine, it's very likely a muscular issue. Because, let me sit back. What most of us will do is, when we have any issues, we try to protect it. And even if we don't have any internal issues, we slouch, right? So when you slouch, your shoulders fall forward. Now you have this pain. Your shoulder's not designed to move this way. You should be here, shoulders back. So lots of pain and discomfort that we suffer is self-induced. So lots of times I've seen and heard people talk about getting massages and different medications to take care of the soreness and pain in the shoulder and back. Well, that's not the fix. The fix is to correct the issue because you've done something to irritate something. So the idea is to correct that issue. It may sound complicated or it seems like it's a long, hard process. It's really not. So again, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to help. Give me a specific issue and we'll talk about how to correct it. Many times it's a simple adjustment. Just start working in different angles to correct that issue. So those are a few of the possible side effects or things you may feel. The mental side, I'll be honest, the going back to fitness, it's move. I did it myself. When I was diagnosed, I was so scared I stopped moving. I panicked, freaked out, and stopped. I was literally in a chair. I was scared to be happy. I was scared to be sad. I thought any variation in anything that would stimulate my heart would be a problem. So I panicked and stopped moving. Do not stop moving. If you have an aneurysm, any type, abdominal, thoracic, cardio is the one thing you can do. But you should not jump on a treadmill and sprint at 8 miles an hour if you've never done it. If you are a trained athlete, start off a little slower and gradually build up. But the idea is, if you have any type of aneurysm, you avoid any heavy physical movement, especially anything that creates that internal pressure. So anything that causes you to hold your breath and push, do not do it. It's not good. It's not advised. It's not advisable. What you want to do is cardio. Cardio, whether you have an aneurysm or repaired or you have no issues at all, cardio is great for your heart and anything that surrounds it. So cardiovascular efficiency is great. If you have an aneurysm of any kind, you want to work on cardiovascular efficiency. So start walking. The simplest thing is to get on a bike or get on a treadmill or go out for a walk. Get some sun. Vitamin D is great for you. You want to move. Do not stop moving. That's the worst thing you can do, is stop moving. You must move. Your heart, you already have a condition. It makes it worse when you stop moving. Your body becomes super inefficient. So inefficient that it causes internal pressure when you sit and stand. So the more cardiovascularly fit you are, the better you are at simple movements, standing, walking, climbing stairs. You should not be winded during a walk. And if you're winded, you're just not cardiovascularly fit. Doesn't mean that your aneurysm's gotten worse or that you have a new condition. It just means that you're not fit. And it's not a jab. It just means that you need to get out and move a little more. With all that said, again, please, anyone, all of you, reach out to me. I would love to talk with you. And I'm not saying I'm the helper. I'm not the person who's going to help you. You may very well say things that help me in this journey, because it's been difficult. Honestly, it's been difficult on me and my family. And I'm 3 years out of surgery, and I still have my days of worry and fear and what next or what ifs. And please reach out to me or someone else. There's so many great people out there that are willing to help and want to help. And we're all so different, but all so very similar. So I will leave on this note. I thank you for listening, and if you gained or learned anything about me, and if anything I said resonated or helped in any way, that's fantastic. If you think, oh, Frank said something that I need to reach out to him about because I think I can help him, please reach out to me. I'm willing and able and ready to receive any support, information that you may have, and vice versa. I'd be willing to and would love to help any of you and all of you. Emotional support, exercise, whatever that looks like. Again, I've dedicated my personal training business to us. So if you have any fitness related or exercise, body, nutrition related questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. I would love to help. My wife often jokes that when people ask me a question, she'll say, all right, I'm leaving because I won't stop talking about it. Thank you all for your time. I hope that something I said helped some of you, and like I said, maybe you guys can help me as well. So thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.